codename Pirate, after a spiced rum that the engineers liked.
It was 2011 when BMW decided that the M division should turn its attention to the humble 1 Series Coupe. After all, who does not love an entry-level model that has been given the full, range-topping performance treatment, especially when BMW M are involved? Engine: the 1M has a 3.0-litre twin-turbocharged i6 engine, which produces 335 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. The BMW 1M's lap time at the Nurburgring Nordschleife is 8 minutes 15 seconds and 0 milliseconds. The BMW 1M Nürburgring lap time is 10 seconds faster than the E46 M3. I am attempting a 10-minute lap on my first ever drive. The BMW M4 CSL holds the record for the fastest production BMW at the Nürburgring, with a lap time of 7 minutes 20 seconds and 20 milliseconds. But what is so special about the BMW 1M? It was manual only, with passive dampers, and configurability extended to an M button. That sharpened the throttle response. It was an honest, authentic, heart-on-its-sleeve fast compact BMW, the 1M, which is what endeared it to so many people so quickly. How fast is the BMW 1M? If you are curious about numbers, the 1M Coupe could do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds and reach a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Which is freakishly fast. Watch the whole video to find out cool facts about one of the best BMW cars ever made. The 1M has an overboost mode that provides up to 369 pound-feet of torque. The 1M has a redline of 7,000 revolutions per minute. But unlike many M models, the BMW 1 Series M Coupe was only available for a limited time, with many cars being registered in 2011, and a few in 2012. Why is the BMW 1M rare? Exclusivity is the answer. There is no reasons why BMW only made a few thousand. They didn't want everyone to own one. It's the same with most old M series. Either only a few thousand were made or they were only built to order. It's a shame, but still a legendary car. A total of 6,331 units were delivered to Europe and America, with the UK receiving just 450 right-hand drive examples. Despite being launched back then, the price of this rare M car has pretty much remained the same as it was when new, £40,000, with many high-mileage cars can now be found for half that on eBay. But what makes the BMW 1 Series M Coupe, or 1M as it is more commonly known by enthusiasts, so special? Was it just a case of its limited production numbers, or is there more to the 1M than meets the eye? Some of the best cars have been built like Lego. The BMW is a parts bin. As with most cars, depreciation sets in as cars get older and newer models are launched. As the 1M was based on an entry-level model, BMW decided that it made financial sense to borrow some bits from other models, in order to keep costs sensible and to ensure the accountants stayed happy. The BMW 1M is considered a skunkworks special, and is highly sought after by collectors. Therefore, the 1M was seen as somewhat of a parts bin special. M car aficionados braced themselves, but they need not have worried. That is because the car borrowed some bits from the E92 M3, a bona fide V8 beast, which included rear suspension, differential and brakes. The engine, however, came from a Z4 S-Drive 35is, which being a non-M car, certainly raised a few eyebrows. But this is BMW M, and so they know a thing or two about creating a performance car masterpiece. That is because the borrowed Z4 engine was a 3.0-litre, twin-turbo, 6-cylinder lump offering 335 bhp. Once placed in the 1 Series M Coupe's pumped-up, flared-arched body, complemented by sought-after BMW rear-wheel drive and perfect 50-50 weight distribution, well, it was quite the recipe. It also had a limited slip differential to ensure all the grunt could be utilized and of course aid the 1M's handling too. Perfect. 1M in 3 colors: Alpine White, Sapphire Black and arguably the best color, Valencia Orange. The latter obviously succeeded in being the more extrovert choice, giving a huge hint that you are in fact looking at something special from BMW M. This also happened to be the color BMW chose to market the car in too. Well, it is an M car after all. Whereas Alpine White and Sapphire Black were a lot more subtle, and are somewhat understated. However, there is nothing subtle about the 1M's quad exhaust tips teamed with the gorgeous 19-inch M light alloy wheels. Interestingly, the 1M was amongst some of the first cars to bring turbocharging to BMW M cars, which again raised eyebrows with purists, as naturally aspirated engines were always the key point of a BMW M car. In a world where emissions regulations were getting stricter, turbocharging was going to be adopted sooner or later, and it has not been a bad thing with the 1M, as it gave the car a playful and punchy character. This resulted in the 1M being characteristically M car quick too, with 0 to 62 miles per hour achieved in just 4.9 seconds. Although it is thought BMW were a bit conservative with this figure, and it's actually around half a second quicker in reality. Despite the BMW 1M being dubbed a park bin special to some, along with it being based on an entry-level BMW, amongst other details which could be seen as negative, it has not affected this baby M car at all. With values staying strong, the 1M has captured the hearts of driving enthusiasts everywhere. The short wheelbase, classic BMW rear-wheel drive and 50-50 weight distribution all ensured the right ingredients were included. Then of course, was the transmission. A purist 6-speed manual gearbox. The 1M had the basics nailed to a T. It offered such a raw and analog experience, like that of its legendary sibling, the E30 M3. Please check out my video on the BMW E30 on my channel. Subscribe while you are at it. It will give me the boost to make more videos like this. The BMW is what we are here for, so back to the subject. Being limited to just 450 UK examples has of course made it more exclusive than that of an M3 or similar, but petrolheads love a small car with big power, and one that can handle as well as the BMW 1M Coupe is pretty much driving perfection. This is a car I would add to my collection if I was building the ultimate garage. What 3 cars would you add to your ultimate garage if money was not a problem? Comment your answer, I would love to know. With all the facts gathered, is the BMW 1 Series M Coupe the greatest M car ever? In a world where cars are becoming larger, more restricted and adopting more autonomous characteristics, it comes as no surprise to see the BMW 1M being so sought after. But BMW have made some legendary M cars. There is the E30 M3 and M1 supercar that some may argue are the greatest. One thing is for sure, the BMW 1M is certainly one of the greatest, and will continue to be highly sought after, make no mistake. It is also worth noting, the BMW 1M's name is somewhat reversed. Why is it not called the BMW M1, like its siblings, the M2, M3 etc.? Well, the very first BMW M car was the BMW M1 supercar, so it was only right in this instance to use a slightly different name. BMW 1M buying guide. Surely one of the best looking road-going BMWs of all time, the 1M bristles with attitude, providing a raw driving experience in a compact package. Built in limited numbers, it's the perfect enthusiast's purchase, right? Below, we delve into the 1M's merits, and what to look out for if you're in the market. With only 450 UK cars, in rarity the 1M Coupe is comparable to the now legendary E46 M3 CSL in numbers, where there were 422 built for these shores. However, worldwide there were more than 4 times the amount of 1 megasecond built, so globally the baby M car is not as rare as the Coupe Sport like bout. Nevertheless, the 1M is a very special car, and values demonstrate that. To get into one today, you will likely need more than £40,000, which is what they cost new back in 2011, and if you're after a collector-grade example with next to no miles, you're talking over £70,000. Still, an M3 CSL could cost you double those figures despite having the alleged downside of being an SMG-only car. The 1M on the other hand was one of the last manual-only M cars, complete with light and flywheel, and also boasted hydraulic steering. And you'll be grateful for that purity of communication, as with a 340 bhp turbocharged engine, the 1M certainly has the punch to keep you on your toes. In period, you may recall people bemoaning the 1M being turbocharged and not a true M car result, but today, where every single BMW M car is now turbocharged, or electric, the point now seems borderline irrelevant. More than just a body kit. The 1M took the suspension and brakes from the M3, but it's the bodywork you will notice first. Those gorgeous arches increased the track at the front by 74mm. As you can imagine, body roll is therefore virtually non-existent, with very reactive, direct steering, better than the E9X M3, in fact, making it terrific fun. Outside, you could specify the 1M in one of just 3 colors: Alpine White, Sapphire Black and the eye-catching Valencia Orange. You will also find 19-inch Y-spoke alloys, clearly inspired by its bigger CSL brother and shared with the M3 competition. On the face of it, the engine and gearbox of the 1M don't have especially exciting origins, being lifted from the then Z4 rather than an M car. However, over the years the in 54-feet code engine has been busy creating its own legend. As it's a tuner favorite, the stock internals have been proven to well over 500 bhp. Standard is plenty quick enough though, with the 1M hitting 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds with the aid of its light, direct gearshift. Like the aforementioned M3 CSL, there was an M button on the steering wheel to sharpen up throttle response. There's also a generous 37 pounds overboost to hit 369 pound-feet in total, which in combination with a proper M3 source differential, lesser 1 series had an electronic attempt, and M dynamic mode, means you can enjoy oversteer until your heart's content. The N54 also still sounds like a proper BMW, despite being turbocharged. If you're brave enough to turn all the aids off, the 1M can be a little snappy given its short wheelbase, but as long as your reactions aren't too slow, it stabilizes sweetly once sideways. Focus on the view, not the driver's seat. Whereas the M3 CSL felt like a race car with its Alcantara bucket seats and swathes of gorgeous carbon fiber, the 1M is more, business-like. All cars came with Boston black leather and contrast Kyalami orange stitching.